In the year 1898, in the melancholic silence of Finland, the painter Hugo Simberg gave form to one of the most enigmatic and moving images in all of symbolist painting, the wounded angel. At first glance, the scene seems simple, almost innocent. An angel with white wings, eyes covered by a blood-stained bandage, is being carried by two dark-clad boys through a gray, frozen landscape, but pausing before the canvas for only a few seconds is enough to feel that something profound, almost inexplicable, stirs beneath its surface. It is an image of infinite tenderness and at the same time of unease. There is no violence, yet there is pain. There is no drama, yet there is mystery. Hugo Simberg was born in 1873 in the city of Hamina, Finland, at a time when his country was struggling for its cultural identity between Russian and Swedish influence. He was a disciple of the painter Akseli Gallen-Kallela, a central figure of Finnish romantic nationalism, who encouraged Simberg to seek a more personal language, less epic and more spiritual. While many artists of his generation depicted heroes, myths, and heroic landscapes, Simberg chose silent symbols, intimate visions, images that resembled dreams. His art moved away from nationalist pride to enter the territory of the intimate, the metaphysical, the unnamable. In The Wounded Angel, that introspective vision reaches its highest point. The painting shows two children or adolescents carrying between them the fragile body of an angel. The celestial creature neither flies nor smiles, its head is bowed, its eyes covered by a white bandage, and its wings are stained with blood. In its hands, it holds wildflowers, symbols of innocence and hope. The boys move through a desolate winter landscape between land and water, with the indifference of those performing an unavoidable task. They do not look at the angel, nor at each other. Their expression is cold, almost ritual. That very coldness was what most unsettled the public of its time. When the work was first exhibited at the Finnish Art Exhibition in 1898, many spectators were deeply disturbed. Some saw it as sacrilegious, others as an allegory of lost faith. How could an angel, symbol of purity and divine protection, appear wounded, blindfolded, and bleeding? And worse still, why did the children, instead of helping it, carry it with such eerie calm, as if bearing a body without a soul? Simberg never offered a definitive explanation. When critics asked him what the painting meant, he replied evasively, "I do not want to kill the poetry with words." His silence was as eloquent as his painting. From that moment on, the wounded angel became an open image, a metaphor each viewer must complete. Over the years, many interpretations have been proposed. Some art historians see it as an allegory of the end of innocence, a reflection on the passage from childhood to adulthood. The children represent humanity confronting suffering for the first time, the fall of purity, the loss of divine comfort. Others believe the wounded angel is a symbol of faith itself, damaged by modernity, by skepticism, by doubt. In late 19th century Europe, scientific progress and spiritual crisis coexisted in tension. God seemed ever more distant, and art sought new languages to express that void. A more autobiographical reading has also been suggested. At the time Simberg painted the work, his health was fragile. He had suffered from physical illness and deep melancholy, symptoms of what would now be recognized as depression. Some critics think the wounded angel represents Simberg himself, a sensitive artist who in an increasingly rational world felt torn between beauty and suffering, between hope and disillusion. The painting belongs to the Northern Symbolist movement, which did not seek to narrate stories but to evoke states of the soul. As in the works of Edvard Munch or Odilon Redon, color and form become instruments of introspection. Here, the palette is sober and almost monochrome: grays, browns, muted greens, and the broken white of the wings. The light is diffuse, without visible source, as if emanating from the frozen air itself. This atmosphere contributes to the sensation of absolute silence, of time suspended. Technically, The Wounded Angel is an oil-on canvas measuring 127 by 115 centimeters. Its composition is simple yet profoundly balanced. The horizontal line of the landscape divides the painting in two, the upper world, empty and melancholic, and the lower terrain, where the figures move slowly. The angel's diagonal body breaks that stability, creating a dramatic tension that draws the gaze to the center. The boy's rigid posture, their firm hands and their absent look contrast with the vulnerability of the winged being. Everything seems designed to convey the fragility of existence. Yet beyond its impeccable technique, what makes this painting unique is its capacity to evoke empathy without resorting to the obvious. There are no tears, no theatrical gestures, no explicit violence. Pain resides in the stillness, in the silence, in the indifference. Simberg understood that true suffering does not always scream. Sometimes it walks slowly with its eyes covered. With time, the wounded angel became one of the most beloved and emblematic images in Finnish art. Its success, however, was slow. For decades, it was considered too sad or too enigmatic. Not until the mid-20th century did the public rediscover its symbolic depth. Today, the painting is housed in the Atheneum Museum in Helsinki, where it is regarded as a kind of Finnish national painting. In 2006, a survey by the Helsinki Art Museum named it the country's most cherished artwork. A lesser-known fact is that Simberg created two versions of the Wounded Angel. The first, from 1898, is the one exhibited at Atheneum. The second, painted years later, was part of the mural decoration of the Tampere Cathedral, where the artist worked between 1905 and 1907. There, Simberg painted a large reproduction of the angel on the church walls, surrounded by Christian symbols and flowers. The decision caused a scandal. Many parishioners found it inappropriate to depict a wounded angel inside a church. Yet over time, that image became the spiritual heart of the building. Today, the mural is considered one of the most beautiful religious works in Northern Europe. The symbolism of the wound, which runs throughout Simberg's oeuvre, has been interpreted as a reflection on the imperfection of the sacred. The angel, in its fragility, humanizes the divine. It is no longer an invincible messenger, but a being that shares human suffering. The bandage over its eyes may represent the veil of mystery, the blindness before the world's pain, or even the inability to see light after having lost it. The flowers in its hands, wilted yet still beautiful, represent hope that survives loss. Another fascinating aspect is the treatment of the landscape. The barren ground and the water in the distance belong to no recognizable place. It is neither city nor forest nor field. It is a symbolic space, a frontier between life and death, between heaven and earth. The boys carrying the angel seem to have no destination. They could be taking it to a doctor, to a grave, or to heaven itself. That ambiguity keeps the painting alive, because its meaning never settles. The most important restoration of the painting took place in 2011, when Finnish specialists discovered small cracks in the paint layer and a slight yellowing of the varnish. During the process, they confirmed that Simberg had used natural pigments mixed with linseed oil and applied thin, transparent glazes that give the work its distinctive, airy atmosphere. Cleaning the surface revealed details previously unseen: tiny flecks of light on the water, fine strokes in the angel's feathers. The result restored the painting's original balance, a luminous melancholy, without drama but full of compassion. Today, the wounded angel is also interpreted as a collective allegory. For many Finns, the image of the wounded angel carried by youths symbolizes the nation itself during years of hardship, war, and reconstruction. The angel is Finland, wounded yet dignified, blind yet alive, fragile yet hopeful. Nevertheless, beyond any historical or religious reading, the painting remains a mirror of the human soul. It represents that moment when innocence is wounded but not destroyed, when faith falters but does not disappear, when beauty endures even in pain. That is why each generation sees in it its own story. Some find in the angel the image of an inner child that has lost its light. Others see the representation of art itself, always vulnerable, always on the verge of falling, yet never defeated. Hugo Simberg died young, in 1917, at 44, leaving behind a brief but deeply poetic body of work. His paintings, filled with symbols, angels, and strange creatures, seem to speak to us from the border between dream and waking, yet none of them achieves the silent universality of the wounded angel. In that fragile, blindfolded figure, Simberg left his purest confession that even light can bleed, that even purity can grow weary, that even heaven sometimes needs to be carried by human hands. The image of the wounded angel that Hugo Simberg painted in 1898 is not merely a symbol of pain or loss. It is, above all, a metaphor for compassion and for the fragility of the divine within the human. In that white-winged, bandaged figure beats a question that crosses centuries. What happens when even the beings destined to protect us need saving? Simberg's answer is not given in words but in silence. That silence is the soul of the painting. There is no cry, no weeping, no theatrical gesture, only the serene weight of the angel's body and the implacable calm of the two youths who carry it. That stillness contains more tragedy than any scream, more consolation than any prayer. The symbolism surrounding this work is deep and manifold. The blindfolded angel does not represent defeat but the vulnerability of faith. Its wound does not destroy it, it humanizes it. By covering the angel's eyes, Simberg suggests that even purity must pass through darkness, that spiritual vision depends not on sight but on the soul. The flowers in its hands, gathered from the ground, seem a small offering before the immensity of suffering, a gesture both tiny and immense, a way of saying that beauty remains even when the light fades. The two youths who carry it are ambiguous figures. Their undefined age and impassive expressions place them between childhood and adulthood, between innocence and awareness. They wear black, as if in mourning, yet their bearing is firm, without sorrow. We do not know whether they are taking the angel to healing or to burial. That uncertainty sustains the mystery of the work. The viewer does not witness an ending but a passage. As in life itself, we do not know whether we move toward loss or salvation. Hugo Simberg was a man of profound sensitivity, drawn to the unseen, to symbols, to the thresholds between life and death. Unlike many artists of his time who glorified nature or progress, he preferred to look inward. In his diaries and letters, we sense an introspective, almost mystical voice seeking meaning in illness, in fragility, in suffering. His universe is inhabited by beings that belong neither fully to heaven nor to earth. Sad angels, silent children, skeletons, tending gardens, creatures that dwell on the border between the real and the spiritual. The wounded angel gathers all these obsessions. His relationship with pain was constant. During his youth, he endured fevers and long convalescences that allowed him to observe closely the body's vulnerability and the mystery of recovery. That experience marked his art with a compassion that was never sentimental or complacent. Simberg did not paint to console but to understand. His art offers no answers. It offers companionship. In The Wounded Angel there are echoes of medieval religious art, of the fin de siècle symbolist decadence, and of the existential tone that would later define modernity. Yet nothing in it is derivative. His language is entirely personal. Critics have compared him to Edvard Munch, but where Munch screams pain, Simberg whispers it. Munch expresses anxiety, Simberg accepts it. Both portray the human soul, one in crisis, the other in contemplation. A revealing key to understanding the work lies in the Tampere Cathedral, where years later the artist painted a mural version of the same theme. There, the wounded angel occupies a place of honor, surrounded by floral motifs and other symbolic beings. When the mural was inaugurated in 1907, the public was divided. Some saw it as blasphemy, an angel bleeding inside a church, while others interpreted it as a visual prayer, an image of redemption. Over time, that figure became Finland's spiritual emblem, a symbol of faith that survives its wound. This tension between the sacred and the profane is essential in Simberg's painting. The angel belongs neither to heaven nor to earth. It is suspended between the two. It is fallen yet undefeated. The white bandage is both a sign of pain and of hope, a promise that the wound may heal. The barren, cold landscape represents the modern world, a terrain where the spiritual seems to have lost its place. Yet amid that desolation, The figures move forward. Their slow but steady motion suggests that there is still a path. The symbolism of the flowers the angel holds, probably anemones or wild daisies, adds another layer of meaning. In 19th century flower language, anemones represented hope amid adversity and resistance against death. Simberg likely knew that symbolism and incorporated it deliberately. The flowers, fragile yet alive, are the only touch of color in a gray world. Their whiteness links purity and suffering in a single image. Technically, the work is a masterpiece of restraint. Simberg employs a limited palette to heighten emotion. The neutral tones evoke winter and silence. The low horizon and leaden sky amplify the sense of desolation. Yet, within that apparent coldness, every detail carries warmth. The brush of hands, the inclination of bodies, the faint wind lifting the angel's cloak, everything breathes humanity. Studies during its restoration revealed that Simberg applied the oil layers with extreme delicacy, using fine brushes and transparent glazes that gave the surface an almost ethereal texture. This technique allows light to filter from within, creating the sensation that the angel emits its own glow, dim yet persistent. It is wounded light, like dawn after a long night. The painting's emotional power remains intact more than a century later. Standing before the wounded angel, one feels a kind of sadness that seeks no comfort but understanding, the sadness of being human, of accepting that even the purest can suffer, yet that beauty can survive pain. For this reason, the work has been read in many contexts as a symbol of faith, of mourning, of war, of lost childhood, or even of art itself, wounded by modern indifference. During wartime, many Finns saw in the wounded angel the image of their devastated yet dignified nation. In peace, others viewed it as a symbol of empathy and of responsibility toward the fragile. Today, in an age flooded with images, the painting retains its power because it offers no spectacle, only silence. It invites us to pause, to look beyond the obvious, to recognize beauty within the wound. Simberg's art as a whole is a meditation on the soul and its trials, yet the wounded angel is its perfect synthesis, a reminder that spirituality is not the absence of pain, but the ability to keep walking despite it. The angel's humanity makes it more divine. Its fall is not failure but revelation. Hugo Simberg died before witnessing the enduring impact of his creation. Nevertheless, his legacy expanded with time. Poets, musicians, and filmmakers have reimagined the wounded angel as a universal metaphor for vulnerability. In Finnish literature, the figure appears as the symbol of a soul seeking redemption. In contemporary art, it has been reinterpreted in installations, sculptures, and photographs, exploring the link between purity and suffering. Thus, more than a century later, the work still breathes. Its strength comes not from grandeur, but from humility. In a world that seeks perfect angels, Simberg reminds us that the true ones are wounded, that they walk among us, blindfolded and silent, still carrying flowers in their hands. The wounded angel is, in the end, a prayer without words. It asks for nothing, it simply exists. It embodies a simple, profound truth. Pain does not destroy light, it only makes it more human.